This.
Hey, we're rolling. We're officially rolling.
It's official. So you know what I'm a little bit upset about right now?
No.
So I spent all the time making this tea.
Yes.
I found what looked like a really good cup for tea.
That does look like a teacup.
Forgetting that we've put coffee in this cup. So now it's like herbal green tea coffee.
Oh, so there's still coffee residue from Christmas past in there?
Yeah.
I see the rub. Adjusting your mic.
Yeah,
Adjusting. Is it sliding on you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was
crank that fucker down. There you go.
I love that noise.
I
was talking and then just getting
noise.
lower and lower.
Yeah, someone was complaining. I had to, at the studio, we didn't have enough gear. Long story short, we had these Christmas performances with people that they're like relatives. Look at you and your swag.
Yeah, you know it.
Their relatives recorded there like back in the day. So anyway, but long story short, some awesome people and some people who wouldn't stop complaining that their mic stand kept like wilting.
Be a problem solver.
Be a professional. No, they totally.
No,
that's a fair expectation.
No, don't cover for that.
Well, I'm not covering. I mean, I agree.
They're the worst.
They are the worst.
I don't even know who they are.
Oh, I don't remember them.
Odds are they'll never figure out that we're talking about them.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, actually, okay. Funny thing. Well, usually when you say funny thing, it winds up not being funny.
It better be funny.
Well, coincidental thing then.
Okay.
Actually, let me see if it's come up yet. I don't know if it has, but this is not my virgin podcast. This guy called work and wanted to do a thing about the studio or whatever, and it's still not up. But anyway, nice guy. Had met him before, and we recorded there, and it was a really bizarre experience. It was fun, but it was bizarre. He is super nice. He offered to help, facilitate, like putting up the podcast.
Oh,
stuff.
Really?
Yeah. He's really nice dude. I don't know if our material is probably too candid for what he's into. You know,
we need to script it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, well, no,
I can write a script.
I don't want to. I mean,
I can do it though.
Well, maybe we should, but I don't want to have to not be myself. You know what I'm saying though?
Well, I'll write it in your voice,
or you not be yourself. You could get inside my head.
Yeah, I'll write it in your voice.
Anyway, the long and the short. So there's a guy. He's on the podcast, and he was good. He's really good, prompting and stuff. And then he has this girl who's a musician on, and she was prompting me, kind of, but with these non sequiturs on it. It was really strange. It was really a bizarre experience. It was fun, but she was trying to
set up what you were saying.
She was trying to set up questions without ever. She never actually asked me any questions. She'd just sort of be like, "So, Nashville, these guys all grew up playing gospel music," and I was like, "Yeah, that's a truth. You just spoke a fact."
You should have just agreed with her.
Yeah.
Not even out loud, just silently just nodded. Just
we're doing right now.
Ruin the whole podcast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he is, he's nodding in agreement to what I just said. That's,
yes.
That's, truth, apparently.
The statement I just said turns out to be a fact.
Yes.
But this is ultimately better. This is a million times better.
Well, it is what I like to listen to.
That experience. Podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Music
too.
I was thinking before we get started on this.
Yeah. Oh, this beer's good.
We don't have a name.
No, we don't
for this podcast.
I thought that might be a good thing to discuss.
See, I was thinking that we needed to talk about this
at the outset.
I got nothing.
I don't know. Your T-shirt says, "Out of 5 Great Lakes,
4 out of 5 Great Lakes prefer the state of Michigan." The failed state of Michigan.
The failed state of something. That would be a good podcast name. The failed state of
4 out of 5 Great Lakes.
Yeah.
That is the highest percentage of any group of anything that prefers Michigan. No other noun likes Michigan that much.
We should explain. You just got back from Michigan.
I did. It's a cold place.
Yes.
It's not great. It's just all around not great. It's not bad.
Is it flat? Having never been to Michigan, I don't know.
It's middle. It's middle.
Well, you're from...
I'm from Kansas.
You're from Kansas, which is flat.
It's all flat.
Yeah.
There's not a hill in Kansas.
Right.
And I was from the hilly part of Kansas.
The hilliest section.
Yeah.
So it's not... Okay. I picture Michigan, and I can't get anything besides Detroit out of my head.
That's pretty much it. There's Detroit.
Just sadness.
No, as a child, I camped in Michigan. Around the Great Lakes, not in Detroit, to clarify. Great place.
Yeah.
Very nice. The city of Detroit is like a war zone.
Oh, God.
It's terrible.
Oh, God. An American.
And we didn't even venture near Flint, Michigan, which is the single most dangerous city in the United States of America.
That's true?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's 9 out of 10 people who live there get murdered.
9 out of 10?
That may not be a correct statistic.
Wow.
I don't have any proof of that.
You don't have the number. You don't
speculation.
Have the numbers.
But
you don't have your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
In front of you.
Yeah.
That Michigan. That's so surprising. I mean, that's so surprising. Am I distorting? Hello. I am a little bit. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll just take it down.
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll compress it.
Yeah.
This mic smells good. Thanks, Johnny. This is Johnny's mic.
What does Johnny do to make his mic smell better than other mics?
I think he just lets them exist naturally. He's kind of a natural guy.
Someone should make mic Febreze.
Ooh, like the little pop filter thing that you the windscreen,
Trademark.
We are recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine sticking your face up to a mic and smelling like Swiss chocolate?
Yeah.
Or
fresh lilacs.
Yeah. Fresh lilacs.
That would be the scent I would choose.
Sweet paprika. I remember going into a Radio Shack as a budding young audio enthusiast, and now fuck Radio Shack because all they have is cell phone cases.
Yeah.
They don't even, I called them Firewire adapter thing. Nope. Guitar Center. Nope.
The last time I went to Radio Shack, I was just looking for a 12-volt plug to go into an outlet.
Like a wall wart?
Yeah. And went in and told them what I was looking for. And you would have thought, by the look on the face of the person who works there, that I had come in and just asked him for a kidney or something. It was the most bizarre experience. I walked out with nothing because they didn't know what I was talking about.
They didn't know what a 12-volt...
They had no idea. They pulled... I told them what I needed. They pulled out a, almost janitor keychain type of thing.
What?
They had all of the different connectors.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And then they're just trying to figure out what that would look like, how to hook that up to an outlet.
Right.
Do you just have one already packaged? I can find it if it's right here.
Yeah, because they want to make you the custom.
Yeah, I don't want their custom.
Yeah.
I don't trust them to do that. I trust them less than I trust myself to do it, and I don't trust myself at all.
I used to love going there, though. But yeah, I was in one time, and I bought a neon green windscreen, and they were like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And they called it like a wind condom or something like that. I don't remember what it was something ridiculous like that. And
wind condom, trademark.
And I mean, they're right. You rarely use those anymore, but it is. I mean, it's just to keep the off.
Yeah. Well, I've got a nice screen right here.
You have a pop filter. Yeah.
You can't. I can't pop.
You
even
can't
if
pop
I
it.
Pop!
Whoa!
Pop!
Oh!
It doesn't work.
No.
I think that my goal in all of this is to get one person to just take out one earbud while they're listening to this.
Yes.
Just like grimacing, just ow. Ow.
It's too loud.
He's a loud man.
I've heard some podcasts where the quality is really questionable.
Yeah.
And the content has to keep you listening.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard a lot of podcasts like that.
Yeah.
This one, the quality's fantastic.
This is the content.
Which tricks you into listening to the content. Suckers.
If you're listening to this right now, we have duped you. You have been duped. Good people.
There's got to be a name in there somewhere.
Duped?
The great duping.
The great dupage? What did we say just a minute ago? We said something like the failure of...
I don't know. I'm stuck on wind condoms.
Wind condoms. I like mass contagious hysteria, those random words I texted you.
Yeah.
But it sounds a little presumptuous. It sounds like we think we're amazing.
What? Oh, that's not even
And that's not remotely true. No.
Let's see. I have a list of random
I like this.
random autocorrects.
Ooh, good.
I saw.
Good. Like it.
Let's see.
This is good.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Testing.
If it will open. You know how you get to that point where your phone's just given up on life?
Yeah.
Like, my phone is right there. If there was a Jack Kevorkian of phones, my phone would be on its own texting that Jack Kevorkian.
Right.
Just end it all.
Just unplug your cable.
Let's see. Haystack Codified.
I kind of like that. Haystack Codified.
Gaudy Dickens. I don't...
Ooh.
By the way, none of these words are even close to what the phone was supposed to be typing.
Haystack Dickens?
Sushi Jackknife, which...
I like that.
If we don't use that, that's the name of my first son.
Sushi Jackknife?
Sushi Jackknife.
I like how it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, no, it means nothing.
That's my favorite feature.
And, of course, the last one is Wedgie Knob. Wedgie Knob.
Wedgie Knob. Read the... Okay, one more time. Run them down again for me.
Once again, phone.
Your phone is fucked.
Oh, I know. Haystack Codified.
Haystack Codified.
Gaudy Dickens.
Gaudy Dickens.
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.
Wedgie Knob.
Wedgie Knob.
Wedgie Knob.
Well, you know, Wedgie Knob makes me uncomfortable.
I think everyone's uncomfortable around a wedgie knob.
I feel like this is another copyright because it's a device.
Trademark.
It's a knob which you hold in your hand that assists in the giving of a wedgie.
That's true.
What a wedgie knob
That's
is.
true. Like, you don't want to get your hands down in there when you're when you're doing the wedgie.
Much more sanitary. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could get like Purell wipes.
Yeah,
for
especially these days with the Ebolas.
Yeah,
you don't want to get the Ebola.
Ebola jumps right out of the ass, I'm told.
That's where it originates.
Yeah,
it's the first case of Ebola was actually from a wedgie gone wrong.
Oh,
read it on Wikipedia. So
the truth is out there, people. If you're listening to this, you're about to get a hardcore download. The truth. I like what was it?
Haystack Codified.
I like that.
I don't know that any of these are good podcast names.
What was it?
Gaudy Dickens.
Gaudy Dickens.
Gaudy Dickens.
Gaudy Dickens. G-A-W-D-Y is Gaudy?
G-A-U-D-Y.
Gaudy.
Gaudy Dickens.
Sushi Jackknife kind of works. I mean... And then it wouldn't be... Because what I picture with that is a bunch of sushi rolls in a line. Or like the chunk of... But they're like traveling on the sushi train. You know, like these restaurants where you sit and you grab the plate off the sushi train. And they get backed up. And there's like a jackknife on... And then it just starts piling up. That's a
That's actually
jackknife.
That would be a dream come true.
It would, because
just
you
a pile
just grab it all.
Sushi.
I love sushi. I don't know that I have any other ideas. I do have a bunch of notes on my phone.
I bet your phone responds faster than mine did.
Which I'd be comfortable reading. For some reason, this made me giggle the other day, and I had to read it.
Wait, pause.
What?
Do you have a bunch of notes that you're not comfortable reading?
Well, I
mean... This is my list of penis diseases. I'm not going to read that out loud.
Here's the ones I have. Here's the ones I hope to get. This fucking beer is amazing. It's oatmeal. If you're out there right now, go get yourself either a Tazo Zen. What is that?
Tazo Zen tea.
Get yourself a Tazo Zen
herbal green tea mixture.
Yes.
I highly recommend putting it in a cup with a slight bit of coffee residue.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible,
and it will clean your insides.
Oh yeah.
You could either have that, or you could have the Highland Brewing Company oatmeal porter out of Asheville, North Carolina, which is have you ever been to Asheville?
No.
We're in Nashville, which is a cool town, but
red glowing light.
Okay, we fucked up, and
I'm not taking credit.
Okay, so
this isn't a team effort here.
We're rolling with some. Not a team effort.
No,
we're rolling with some old school recording gear here, and I didn't realize that the drive partition was filling up. So we were going to read some notes from my phone.
No one knows what a drive partition is that's listening to this.
Well, who knows what our audience is going to be?
That's true. It could just be,
God damn it,
all audio engineers sitting there going, actually, drive partition.
I want to
that makes sense.
Well, I do want to do an episode where we have another engineer on and we just talk about records, because you'll talk about records.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about records and record making. I'd like to do that.
That sounds interesting.
You know what I mean?
I need to go buy records. This is completely off topic. There's nothing interesting here.
Yeah, there is.
I
believe in you.
I went to the Great Escape, local place in Nashville.
Did you go to Charlotte Pike?
Yeah, I'm looking for a sponsorship. That's why.
Oh, that'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
If you're listening, comics. I want comics and I want used CDs.
Yeah, so I went there to get a Nintendo for my wife for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm a very nice husband.
You are.
I do
husband.
Nice husbandly things.
Better than me.
And I wanted to spend all day there.
Yeah.
And I'm not an exaggeration.
No.
Like, I was there for 2 hours just flipping through records, and then I didn't even get to all the video games and DVDs. And
yeah, we should go there.
Yeah.
You know, they have a back room. If this takes off, they have a back room. We could probably talk them into recording an episode there. And they are less shitty and like snobby than a lot of record store people.
No, they're very okay.
They're pretty down to earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As these things go.
Do you think if that ever happened, they'd give me the Ninja Turtles anthology that they had there?
They have the movies?
The comic books, like the original comic books.
Wow.
I was this close to buying them.
That's amazing.
But
really?
Then I went, right, I'm buying birthday presents for my wife and not things that make me happy.
Not things for myself. You know, the first couple issues of that are pretty valuable, actually, I think.
Yeah, well, this isn't.
These are like...
Yeah, it's like the...
Okay, cool. Collected.
I can't afford anything expensive.
I know.
I drive a 92 Ford Explorer.
2001 Jeep Wrangler.
I'm not getting anything good like that.
With
Come on.
A bunch of shit in it. That would be awesome, though. I mean, I've never... I had some of the books growing up, but I think they were the ones that came after the cartoons.
Yeah.
So
not the same.
Not the same.
No.
Not as edgy.
See, I want the edgy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an adult.
You are.
I am an adult.
These days.
I want the edgy.
I know.
I don't need the kid stuff. No.
I think they were all black and white, too. I think they were like...
It's gritty stuff. It's as gritty as a comic book about karate turtles can be.
So, okay, I think there was a backlash in comics from Ninja Turtles. Because I picked up this comic from a flea market one time, several years ago when I was like 15, I think somewhere in North Carolina. Anyway, and it's called Boris the Bear Kills the what was it? Slightly microwaved, nearly radioactive hamsters or something like that. Like it was a total parody.
Oh,
and
wow.
the whole comic, he's just walking around killing like all these like teenage mutated animal groups. And
I'd read that.
it's pretty. I mean, I'll loan it to you. It's pretty great. Okay. All right. Notes from my phone.
Okay, notes. Back on topic.
This made me giggle. I don't know where this just popped in my head one morning.
I'm listening.
No, you're not. You're making tea.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Listening and making tea are the
So,
same.
okay, I don't know where this came from, but this just popped in my head and I jotted it down. Are you straight? No. Are you gay? No. Are you a sea anemone? I don't know, but I like that a lot. Are you a sea anemone?
What?
Maybe sea anemones. I think this is true. Maybe some sea anemones have like no gender or both genders or something like that.
So, according to this note,
Yes.
you either have a sexual orientation,
Right. Pick
or
one.
you're a sea anemone.
That's correct.
Okay. I can't argue with it. I don't know enough to say you're wrong.
Here's another one. Bless your little space heart, which is hyphenated space heart. Here's a. I think this is a story idea.
Hot.
Oh, is that too hot?
It's hot.
Some fourth dimensional being making archetypal associations, smells, sounds, etc. for the humans, producing them alchemy/factory style for humans.
Yeah, that's our podcast name.
There we go.
That whole thing.
Ooh, the Orwellian now.
The Orwellian now. If we named the podcast that, we'd get all these sci-fi nerds.
We do ooh it, yeah.
Going,
Oh.
this sounds good. And then they'd turn it on and just be so disappointed.
Oh, so incredible. Well,
Why is this guy talking about tea? He keeps talking about tea.
we have to. This is why we have to have a name that means nothing, because then we won't inspire any expectations.
No.
Like, well, I don't want to do like greatest favoritist podcast, but we'll get into that someday. But like most of the ones I like are just sort of this freewheeling. You never know quite what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to come up with a sign off too. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, it'll come naturally. It'll come naturally.
It will.
Or not.
Well, it won't come at all.
Well, that's the end. Bye.
And fuck off. Have a great week.
It's so hot.
Elvis was a quote-unquote space critter. Samuel Clemens was a quote-unquote space monster. I'm not sure what the distinction is there. I don't know why Elvis is a space critter and Clemens is a space monster.
Well, I can't argue with any of it again. I don't know.
Let's see.
It's not the craziest thing I've heard about Elvis, by the way.
Oh, I had a dream about this one time. This sounds like the witches in Shakespeare. 1 in 3 are we? This is all. These are not connected at all. Let's see.
What I think would be terrifying?
What?
To have some sort of like psychologist or therapist or something read these notes that you're reading and explain what it means.
I like that. I like this a lot. Can we get somebody? My wife's a social. Hey, both of our wives.
They could analyze you together.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
My wife was thrilled because she got, for one of her grad classes, the big book of psychological disorders.
The DSM?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's thick. It's scary. She got it and offered to. She offered to figure out what was wrong with me.
What's wrong with you?
There's a lot wrong with me.
I thought you were fine.
No, there's a lot wrong with me.
Okay. Well, we haven't talked about that.
But if she hasn't figured it out on her own by this point, I certainly don't want her consulting a book.
Well,
I've made it this far.
You need an independent resource, I feel. Your wife is always going to find something wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this would just solidify anything.
Well,
like this would just give her scientific name for what I'm doing.
It doesn't usually have like criteria and stuff.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. It's really not a great book to have laying around your house, honestly.
Not a coffee table book.
Well, and I mean, not too serious, but I got a little bit of the hypochondria in my life.
Okay.
So if I were to crack that book open,
yeah,
I'd be sitting there going, I do have dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, God.
I do. There is no doubt about it.
Multiple Nathans.
Some nights...
There's our podcast name.
Some nights, I just, I'm sitting there, and then I don't remember what happens, and I wake up on the couch. What did I do while I was asleep? I don't know. Dissociative identity disorder.
No.
I can't go on WebMD for the same reason. If I go on WebMD, I'm convinced I have cancer every single time I'm on there.
Oh, my God.
Because that's always like the third thing on the list.
There's a lot of kinds of cancer.
It's like, oh, you have the stomach flu, or acid reflux, or giant stomach tumor.
Oh.
Like, those are the three choices.
Or softball tumor.
Yeah. It's never just all positive, curable diseases.
Yeah. There's no hope on WebMD.
Yeah. No, it's super cancer. You have super cancer.
The thing that's interesting about there's a WebMD magazine I've seen. So
that defeats the purpose of WebMD.
In that scenario, something born on the internet became physical media.
That's like when I get my Amazon catalog every
my Amazon catalog. That's like
trademark.
That's like when you put a podcast on vinyl, which has been done.
Yeah.
Well,
that's not terrible.
No, it's not so bad.
I like vinyl.
I like vinyl too, but I like it all. Except tapes.
Yeah, so I don't think you want anyone to diagnose you. In conclusion, Oof. There's the big book. You'll come out, and then you'll just be paranoid. Anyway, which is another thing in the book, FYI.
Yeah, generalized anxiety disorder. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I got one more. All right. One or two more. Young woman looking bored. A song or a band name. I kind of like that. Cave meat.
Cave meat.
Cave meat. Okay. Rib Country, a comic book, web comic in black and white, kind of in the spirit of these poems I read called American Bus Boy.
Okay.
Look that up. It's pretty interesting. Paradud Comics. That was another idea. Interesting. So there we go. I don't know. I feel like there's something in there. Yeah. Are you a sea anemone?
I'm a sea anemone, everybody.
Hey, everybody. I'm a sea anemone.
Now, not to dwell on that one too much.
Sea anemone?
But according to that note, does that mean, like, if someone's bisexual, they're a sea anemone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's my code for
right.
Bisexual is sea anemone. If you're drunk, you say anemone. Are you a sea anemone?
If you're drunk or a child. I'm pretty sure I couldn't say that word right until I was like in junior high. Anemone. Like I couldn't ever do until like junior high Worcestershire. You know Worcestershire sauce?
Yeah, I do.
I always wanted to say like Worcestershire.
We call it what do you call it? Worcestershire? Worcestershire or something like that.
It's way closer than what I was like adding syllables. It would be like 10 syllables long by the time I finished.
Worcestershire. That's what. So it's like really like Worcester or something.
Yeah,
like if you look at it.
Yeah.
There's a million things in that. There's raisins in that.
Yeah.
There's sardines in that. I'm sorry if this is news to you.
Love sardines.
Do you?
I like them.
I've never really eaten them.
It's like tiny salty fish. You know how you love tiny salty fish and you're always like, I can't get enough tiny salty fish? Yeah, it's like that.
That's like that. Okay. All right. Good. Good to know. So, damn it. I did it again. So, you just got back from Michigan.
Yeah.
And I just got back from Nebraska.
Yeah.
We both went west. Go west, young man.
Yep.
I took a bus. Did I tell you that?
No.
I'd take the bus a lot because
the Greyhound.
The Greyhound, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid of flight. And I tell myself that I, quote unquote, like to see the countryside, which lasts. That's great for 6 hours, but inevitably a bus trip is 20 some odd hours or something.
And eventually it's night, and you're not seeing any of the countryside anymore.
You just have. I had a child sleeping on my lap, not my child.
Just a random.
Well, yes, yeah. The lady I was sitting next to, her little girl, like for a while, like slept with her head on the window, and then for a while, like her head was like kind of on my leg. It was fine. It was fine, but as these encounters,
is this one of those things where you're trying to convince yourself it was fine?
I just
she was in your bubble.
I just tried to ignore it. Oh, well, okay. So the first leg is Nashville to, I guess a lot of people were going to Chicago. I was going to Indianapolis for the first leg.
Okay.
So you're going through Kentucky, and then it got nighttime somewhere. That bus was packed.
Yeah.
It was packed. And that's like the worst Greyhound experience when it's packed. But then I got on like a Burlington Trailways bus from Indianapolis to Iowa, I think it was, somewhere in Davenport, Iowa. And literally a middle-aged black woman and an older woman, and me and the driver for hours. And that was wonderful.
See, that sounds okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I could deal with that.
That's what I like. And that was, it was fairly scenic. And then, some college students got it on and off. The most uncomfortable part was when the guys who got straight out of the prison van and onto the bus got on. They literally had just graduated. What do? When you leave prison?
You are released.
Not graduated.
I've graduated prison.
They had just graduated from prison and
magna cum laude.
And they were going to Champaign, Illinois. Beautiful Champaign, Illinois.
Did they say what they
I did not go into it with them.
Were there teardrop tattoos?
No, I didn't look.
Should we avoid Champaign, Illinois?
You might want to for a while.
All right.
Just lay low.
Let them get back.
One of them had been
acclimated to society.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a conversation with him, but some other kid who got on the bus did. And he alternately was talking about how he got arrested and beat people up. And then he would switch over to be like, but I'm in church now, man. I'm real into it. He was just flipping. He was kept flipping back and forth, and talking to these dudes and letting them use his cell phone because, of course, they had nothing,
right?
And all this stuff. And one dude had been in for 8 years. I gathered that.
So it was a serious,
significant, yeah. And the other guy, I don't know how long the other guy had been in, but it was kind of fascinating, man. They really wanted to smoke. Really, really, really wanted to smoke.
Do they not let you smoke in prison?
I think you can. I mean, on TV.
On TV they do. There's a lot of things that happen on TV that I'm pretty sure don't frequently happen in prisons. Maybe occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure not everyone gets stabbed on a daily basis.
So you're saying that Orange is the New Black is not
it's
a good...
not. I doubt it's 100% realistic.
Because that seems like a fun prison sometimes.
They have a lot of parties.
There's violence too, though.
Yeah.
They do have parties. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, prison
career
parties.
Day. They have career day.
Man, I could go for a prison party.
Oh yeah.
No, I doubt it's 100% accurate. We have the book. It's based on a book.
I do. I have not read the book.
We bought it.
Have you read the book?
I have not read the book.
Okay.
I haven't even cracked the book open.
Well,
I'm actually not even 100% certain where the book ended up.
Last time we did our preliminary thing, you were reading you read a tiny bit of John Coltrane book.
I read 12 pages.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Fuck this book, basically.
I just read On the Airplane. It's a short book, so it was actually all pretty much contained on the airplane. Slaughterhouse-Five.
Oh, I've seen the movie.
It's a good book.
Good book.
Good book.
Vonnegut, right?
Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh,
that's the guy right there.
I just read. We should talk about the books we just read. We just both read like sci-fi books.
Yeah.
I just read my first Philip K. Dick book. What is it called? The Man Who Japed. It was good.
I really enjoy a good japing.
Japing. I didn't know what japery was.
No idea.
Do you know what
japery
is? I hope I'm saying it right. It's Jape is jape.
Yeah, that sounds like jape.
Either that or Jap, and I was not going to go for that.
That seems...
That doesn't seem right.
A little bit different.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Especially for a book that came out in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Just blown up their homes. The Man Who Japed. Yeah, so... Okay, Slaughterhouse-Five.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know what Slaughterhouse-Five is about.
Oh, man. It's crazy.
What's the name of the planet again that he's on?
Tralfamador.
Tralfamador. That's right.
That's where the Tralfamadorians live.
That's
Tralfamador.
And like he's a World War I soldier?
World War II.
World War II soldier.
He becomes a prisoner of war in a slaughterhouse.
Yes.
Slaughterhouse number 5. That's where the title comes from.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you didn't see it coming through most of the book, and then you're like, right, I get it now. And he gets abducted, and time is broken. He's just throughout time everywhere.
Yeah.
Like bouncing back and forth, like, oh, I'm over here now.
And now I'm over here. Yeah. In the movie, he was almost like he was like suspended in a bubble or something. Is that okay?
Well, it's and this is getting way too in depth.
Okay.
But
spoiler territory?
No, it's not even spoiler territory. But the Tralfamadorians I feel so ridiculous saying all this, by the way. The Tralfamadorians believe that no one dies.
Okay.
And that we all just move back through time.
Oh.
So, Billy Pilgrim.
Yeah, main character.
Billy Pilgrim. Throughout the book is just reliving different parts of his life and bouncing back and forth between being in the war and his daughter saying, "You're crazy because you talk about aliens all the time."
Right.
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to put that on the list.
Put it on the list.
I like reading
Everyone
sci-fi.
listening, put it on the list.
Slaughterhouse-Five.
Slaughterhouse-Five.
On the list. The Man Who Japed, Philip K. Dick, for those of you who may not know, is the guy who wrote the book that Blade Runner is based on, which is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Which I have not read. This was the first Philip K. Dick book I had read.
Do they?
Yeah. I think they might. I don't know what he posits. The question is, do sea anemones dream of electric sea anemones?
Absolutely, they do.
They're so dirty little sea anemones. But so the Man Who Japed is it's like a, you know how all these books today are quote like dystopian future. Well, this is like a dystopian future where there's been a nuclear holocaust. Always a good place to start.
Oh, always.
And the society after the nuclear holocaust, society is totally broken down.
Yeah.
And this guy, Major Strider, in my head I said Strider, I don't know, Strider, something like that. He posits this idea for a society that's based on moral reclamation. So, yeah, so there's, Newer York becomes a Morric society, M-O-R-E-C society, based on his ideas. And they have these little like robots that follow them around called juveniles. And if you do anything unsavory, they record you. And then you have to go up in front of your neighbors at what they call a block meeting.
So
yeah,
it's kind of like being around people who videotape everything and put it on Vine.
It's kind of like that,
Okay.
And it's kind of also being like doing everything in front of your family all the time or something, people you don't want to know your personal dealings. So if you do something really bad, there's punishments, but if you just sort of can't handle it, they ship you off to I can't remember what it's termed now, but basically this like psychiatric planet where you basically just can do whatever you want, more or less. So there's no morality on this place. It's like just sort of a free for all.
Interesting
on this part. So what do they call it? The resort. They call it the resort. So the main character is a guy named Alan Purcell. And it's kind of hard to explain, but he basically creates content that becomes everything from movies to like flyers to advertising. Mm-hmm. And it's all based on history or like these moral ideas and stuff. So he's got his own little agency, but he gets a job like doing like the government arm of it. So he's like the major dude, but he also has a flip out thing and goes to the resort and comes back, and he like spends his free time hanging out with these like few free thinkers that are still left. These guys that have like old copies of like Ulysses and jazz records and stuff, you know. And
there's always
complicated character.
Every good like dystopian type of novel, a group of people that are like, hey, come here.
Yeah.
I've got a book. It has words in it. Well, there's always one.
Like Fahrenheit 451. Yeah. There's somebody.
Hey, we got books over here.
Book over here. But yeah, it's like that. And it was, I mean, it was ultimately not hugely satisfying at the end. But I guess it was his attempt at injecting some comedy into it, and it's kind of successful at that when you look at it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed reading it, but I mean, I definitely read other of his books. I know he has like a rabid fan base.
Yeah,
you know.
Speaking of dystopian futures and nuclear holocausts and whatnot and who's it's, have you ever seen the show Doomsday Preppers, the television program? Doomsday Preppers.
I saw that it's on Netflix, but I haven't seen it.
You need to watch this show.
Okay.
Every episode of this show focuses on 3 different people in segments. And they explain what they're afraid of happening, be it the banks collapsing, or nuclear holocaust, or the government comes and tries to start stabbing I don't know, just random things.
Whatever the case may be.
And then they explain how they're prepared for it. And then the show rates them.
Oh.
So it's things like there's this one family where the guy has built, he's convinced that there will be a solar flare and all the computers will shut down, meaning his car can't work.
Right.
So he has built a wagon to pull his family up a mountain to a shelter.
I wish you could see my face right now.
So he is going to essentially be like an oxen for his family. He's just going to take them up the mount to this hidden bunker. The show did not rate that plan very favorably. It turns out that, traveling 12 miles, pulling your family up a mountain, not the most realistic idea. I don't know.
Okay, so he didn't do so well.
No. There was one lady, and she tried her best. Her husband thought she was nuts.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
Arguably.
She's convinced that there will be some sort of nuclear attack, and she'll have no more food to get from places.
Yes.
So, she had to stockpile food, but to keep her husband from going, "You're insane," she had to hide it from him throughout the house. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Which I don't know how he felt about having cameras in his house the whole time. I don't know what she told him about that.
So, this is like hoarders with a plan.
Yeah.
Intentional hoarders.
Yeah. She sawed open, like the hollow doors?
Yeah.
Sawed one of those open and lined it with like soup packets.
Oh God!
And then sealed it back shut.
Oh no!
So, her husband wouldn't see it. But
was her name Maud? Maud.
I don't remember, but it should be. Maud. Yeah.
Poor Maud.
But, he'll be thankful someday when there's a nuclear attack and he can have all the soup he wants. All the door soup.
I want to get together the extreme couponers with the doomsday preppers and like the lady that has like 1 million like naked mole rats in her house. I want to put them all in one show and it be like challenges. Like an obstacle course. Like
I like this plan.
Did you ever watch what was that show on Nickelodeon when we were kids? Not the one where you got slimed, not Double Dare.
Not Double Dare.
But what was it, the Temple?
It's
like Temple Run. Yeah, what is that?
Something like Temple Run's a game or a video game or something. But I know
Conquer the Temple. Yeah. I want to put the Hoarder Lady, a Doomsday Prepper, and what was the first one I said?
The lady with a bunch of naked mole rats.
The mole rats.
A large number of
naked
mole rats.
I want to put them all together. And like an NRA guy.
Okay.
And I want them to do the Temple Challenge.
I think just, the show Supermarket Sweep?
Yes.
You just throw them out there.
Oh, God.
It would be interesting to see what they come back with.
Okay, all right. This is going to make me sound like such a bumpkin. But Supermarket Sweep was one of the few things we could pick up.
Okay.
We didn't have cable all the time or satellite.
For those who don't know, Justin grew up out in the middle of nowhere.
No fucking where.
Out in the sticks.
Very much.
Literally, his house was made of just a pile of sticks.
Right.
There
was some dirty chewing gum involved too.
Yeah, it's not a great way to live.
No.
He didn't have plumbing until he was 21.
That's right.
So
until I went to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't shake his hand.
No. Well, you can shake my right hand. I only wipe with my left hand. So we had antenna, like rabbit ears,
Yeah.
And the great days were when I could pick up Channel 36 because that had like cartoons on it, like Saturday morning, Dragon Ball Z and shit.
Yeah.
And but usually it was just like 2, 5, 8, which were like public TV, and then and it never came in well. And then like the news, the broadcast channels. But then there was this channel called PAX.
Oh, I remember PAX.
Remember PAX? We picked up PAX, which was channel 14. Mm-hmm. And PAX had Supermarket Sweep. PAX had like Dick Van Dyke Doctor Solving Mysteries.
Oh, Diagnosis Murder. I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
Diagnosis Murder. It had like Highway to Heaven. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Touched by an Angel. The angels were just touching all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
No, in my house we didn't have cable at one point.
Okay.
And my family, for whatever reason, was obsessed with PAX. Which is a weird thing to say because even the people who work at PAX or worked at PAX, I don't know if it even still exists.
I hope it exists.
Would go, this isn't that great.
Basically free TV.
But they had a Billy Ray Cyrus television program.
Yes, they did.
That and I don't even remember what the premise of the show was, aside from he's a small town doctor in the big city.
Right, I remember that show too. That show was such shit. That show was, and who could have predicted Hannah Montana? That show was such shit. Yeah. And he looked the same though. Like he had like the hair and like the guns.
Right. Well, I mean, he's a small town doctor.
He's a small town doctor,
but in the big city. So it's fish in a different barrel.
Okay,
sort of situation there.
If you know what the hell that show was, please get in contact with us somehow. I'm sure once we pick a title, we'll have a Twitter and an email address. For now,
I have Wikipedia.
I'm
gonna find out what it is.
You look it up. I'm gonna vamp. I'll vamp while you're looking it up. Shit, there was something I wanted to talk. Oh yeah. Okay. Not mass contagious hysteria. Mass contagious disappointment. MCD. You don't like it? Okay.
It's
too fucking. Yeah, I know. I think sushi roll train. What was it?
Sushi jackknife.
Sushi jackknife is my top so far. Vernix, a punk band.
But is that a suggestion for a punk band? Or?
Yes. Which is something I must have learned from childbirthing classes. Vernix.
Did you know Billy Ray Cyrus has 7 children?
No.
This, by the way, now that I'm on Wikipedia,
that's a damn
the rest of this podcast is going to just be all about Billy Ray Cyrus.
Shapiro Recycling. Old Time Bloodstain.
The Billy Ray Cyrus program,
yes,
was entitled Doc.
Oh God, DOC
and
Doc.
I want you to look at the graphic to see how much.
Wow.
The graphic is I'm pretty sure word art.
That looks like
it's word art.
That's word art.
So
just like our band's logo currently,
word art.
Andalusia is just word art. Doc. And at that time, that cost them like several $1,000s.
Oh yeah,
they commissioned someone to create.
All right,
that
there was a whole graphic design firm around that, just saying they're going, guys, you gotta check this out.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
What is this?
Small town doctor in the big city.
Fish out of water. Fish out of water right here.
See an enemy out of a tank. Chuckles.
Billy Ray Cyrus is a sea anemone.
My body's made of fast food. My feet are made of biscuits. What the fuck is wrong with me? Hot food, lonesome cholesterol.
I feel like maybe you had been on WebMD that day or something.
Maybe I had.
or watching a Food Network.
I might have been doing that
show.
I had another idea for a story about a ghostly Elvis centipede that haunts an old recording studio. That's my idea.
An Elvis centipede.
I know.
So a centipede with the Elvis glasses
Elvis's
and hair,
face and glasses and chops. 70s Elvis.
Late
Elvis.
Well, yeah.
Not
you don't want young Elvis. That's a good-looking caterpillar. You don't want that.
What would you be scared of?
Yeah, it's got to be late Elvis.
Sing me some Little Sister or something. So late. Yeah, centipede, ghost.
Yeah.
Maybe ghost. Maybe it doesn't have to be a ghost. Maybe it's just a creature.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe it's Elvis reincarnate.
Ooh.
As a centipede. That lives in a recording studio.
I like that.
Where human Elvis recorded.
Oh, God.
Oh,
it's getting deep now.
There we go.
Anyway, the main character's name is Daryl Rutledge. And he's content. That's what I've got so far.
Daryl Rutledge is content.
He's content.
That's the first line of the story.
That's right. Yeah, that actually is the first line.
It should be.
Daryl Rutledge was content. So
I like it.
So content, in fact, that his contentedness spilled over into something similar to happiness. Something like that.
You know what we should do?
What?
One day.
Extemporaneously
on this
record a story?
Yes. My take turns writing a short story.
Ooh,
for the podcast.
I haven't heard that before. I haven't heard anyone do that.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
It would be unique.
Oh, this is a good idea.
Stay tuned.
Next time.
Sushi jackknife.
Sushi jack. It sounds like it sounds a little anime.
Yeah. So we're gonna get the anime nerds.
Oh, that's good.
There's gonna be some group of nerds
audience
that's going to start listening to this, going, "This isn't what I was expecting."
And some of them will stick around. A few, if 2 or 3 of you are out there, we'll continue to do it for you. But we will need comments, people. I exist. I feed on your interactions. Nathan probably doesn't care.
I don't care.
He doesn't give a
I
shit.
don't care about you guys at all.
I have a gaping hole in my heart that can only be filled by adoration.
And you guys can all drop dead as far as I'm concerned, so... I just don't care.
Good cop, bad cop. I think the kitchen is the place to do this, by the way.
Yeah, it's good.
This feels nice. There's some very interesting dishes behind me.
Do you like the acoustics off the fake wood linoleum?
I do.
Oh, man.
I do. Nathan's house is really cool. I like Nathan's house.
I like it, too. That's why I live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
Yeah.
So we're struggling back and forth trying to get to a name, and it's just not coming. I mean, you're right. It does have to happen naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of dumb podcast names out there.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, girl. There you go.
Yeah,
if we
girl.
titled it that, we'd at least get a few female listeners for one episode.
Or a few perverts for one episode.
Could be. Yeah, girl.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
They're not. They just keep talking about sea anemones.
They.
That's not why I download this.
I wanted to hear about issues.
I download this to my Zune.
Zune?
I only want people with Zunes listening to this podcast.
Tom, see, they did those overkill episodes. They did episodes for Zune, and they went, and their sign off was Zune.
Oh man,
Zune.
The poor Zune.
I know.
Zune.
I mean, it was so. I had a Dell iPod before.
I did too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Still have it.
I have it somewhere.
It weighs like 2 pounds.
It's heavy. It's made of metal.
Yes, it is.
I could beat someone to death.
Oh, you could
with that MP3 player.
Yes, you could.
So.
And it was like it had all these weird cables and.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It was a very, very confusing process.
It had a little roller ball thing to do the selecting.
It was not a great design.
Not at all.
Except for the metal part, which, like I said, I'm a fan of.
I did like
for the defensive features, beating
Yeah.
attackers to death and whatnot.
If you tied a string around it, you could like turn it. I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
Wow.
You could turn it into like a David and Goliath type scenario. You could hit somebody with your Del Pod. I called it a Del Pod.
The Del Pod.
The Del Pod.
I like that.
DEL Pod. Like
Oh,
Del. You ever
man.
listen to Del the Funky Homo Sapien? Oh my god, I love that guy. You better wash your ass if you must. You better brush your teeth, or else you'll be funky.
Which, by the way, those are good pieces of advice.
Copyright. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Yeah, good. Definitely solid advice.
Yeah.
If you want to get by in the world.
You know it. Yeah, girl.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time is dragging on.
Oh.
My ass is numb.
So,
Yes.
no podcast name then.
We don't have anything.
Sushi Jackknife it is right now.
Sushi Jackknife. Welcome to another installment of Sushi Jackknife.
I got nothing.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey.
So, what happened this week?
Are we going to go like low key from now on?
I think so. I think we should bring.
You know what we should do?
Yes.
Everyone loves like This American Life and things like that.
Yeah.
We should go NPR style.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Sushi Jackknife. This is Nathan.
This is Justin.
Today on the podcast, we're going to be discussing some very important topics of the day. Sea anemones. Bisexual? Maybe.
And that's okay.
We're okay with that.
Yeah.
Also, we'll be starting our donation drive. So, if you want a tote bag, get that phone ready. Donate some money.
We have a goal. Last year, we narrowly missed our goal by only $15,000.
Our goal was $15,050.
That's right.
So, and I donated $45. It was not great.
Which led ultimately to us moving the recording studio down to the basement of my uncle's house.
Mm-hmm. And I live at the YMCA now, so
yeah,
it's not sad.
You're really a man of the people these days.
It's a choice. I chose to do it. It's not a sad thing.
Yeah, no,
so
no. And then we alternate. We slowly get more and more angry, and then it's all shock jock.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
I like the MP. That was soothing.
I practice that a lot.
Did you?
Well, no, but I should.
You should. Somebody at my work did the the sweaty balls thing. It's Christmas time, people. By the way, I don't know when the fuck you're hearing this, but right now it's December 2014. Who knows? So she did the whole thing. She has rogue hair, like from the X-Men.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's natural.
I think it is.
You think so?
I've never seen her, but I'm going to believe it.
Okay, well, you should believe it. So she dressed like the NPR cooking. I think that's based off the Splendid Table. I don't know. Yeah, I love the Splendid Table. I listen to the Splendid Table. So yeah, she brought that to work, but not everyone knew what it was, and it's not really work, appropriate.
No, that would be NSFW.
Yes,
NSFW,
not safe for work, which is my entire browsing history.
My entire browsing history is just Wikipedia pages.
Really?
It's just that's all I look up.
You wiki out?
It's actually my relationships suffer because of it. It's not good.
I'm going to take your photograph.
Oh.
And then I'm going to take my photograph because...
Well, okay.
Well, I'm just doing it. And then we're going to look at... look at me. I got big headphones on. I'm going to pull up... Since you like Wikipedia so much, I'm going to look up sea anemones on Wikipedia. I can't spell it. Hey, there it is. Great.
Honestly...
Yes.
The only reason I'm doing this podcast
Why?
Is because I want a Wikipedia page.
That's it. About us?
About anything I'm associated with.
I love it.
It's all I want in life.
Yeah, well, okay. All right.
I want my name up there.
I think up there on the PED.
Make it happen.
Do it.
I don't know how.
I don't either.
I looked once.
Maybe you could. There's got to be a way to do that. Sea anemones are a group of water-dwelling predatory animals. Yeah.
Wait, what do they eat?
I don't know, but they eat.
We've already learned something.
It's educational.
I didn't know that.
Well, one fact a day.
Yeah.
One fact a day. If you do that for the rest of your life, you'll have many facts.
Several.
They are named for the anemone, a terrestrial flower. They often have large polyps that allow for digestion of larger prey. And also lack a Medusa stage.
Oh, they have no Medusa stage.
No Medusa stage. I mean, I know I skipped right through my Medusa stage.
I actually had a early Medusa stage.
You did?
Yeah. My Medusa stage started very early in life.
6 years old?
Mm-hmm. 6-year-old Medusa stage.
Yeah. I mean, most people aren't hitting that till 12.
Yeah,
you had your little...
It was bad.
You had your little phalanges on top.
Mm-hmm, yeah. No one liked that.
Yep, filtering the air.
That explains how I became the man I am today.
I had a black nail polish stage.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this podcast is just like going deep into your psyche and pulling things out.
I really hope so.
Just like little bits and pieces, little nuggets. Little Justin nuggets.
I hope it's
trademark.
Justin Nuggets. It's like Kenny Rogers restaurant revenge.
In your freezer section.
Oh,
yeah,
in your grocer's freezer. Hey, cat. Hey, space cat.
So the cat, I guess no one knows the story of the cat.
No, it's only in our minds.
So I have a cat. That's where we're going to start the story. The cat came because this fine individual sitting next to me found a stray kitten.
I did.
Dying. Dying.
He was dying.
And
nearly dead.
Rescued the cat, despite the fact that he has allergies to a cat.
Horrible allergies.
It's awful.
Oh, I can't bear it.
Me being the selfless giver that I am, like the greatest human being on the planet, I'm essentially like Mother Teresa meets Gandhi.
Nathan.
It's pretty good. We adopted the cat.
You did.
And we've taken care of the cat and kept the cat alive.
Yeah.
So, all that leads up to this. keeping in mind, we didn't necessarily want a cat.
No, you didn't.
We just ended up with the cat to save the cat.
You did.
My wife and myself, have put ourselves out to keep this cat alive.
Yes.
Well, my wife decided to have the cat declawed.
Yes.
She's had declawed cats her whole life. So, she went to the cat shop, over in Green Hills.
Is it really called the cat shop?
There's the dog shop and the cat shop.
Oh, yeah.
It's for lack of a better way of saying it, a hippie pet store. There's a lot of natural foods for your pets, and the whole reason we went there originally was to get grass for the cat, because cats apparently like grass.
Grass.
They love grass at the hippie store. So, anyway, she went back in.
Legalize it.
She went back in and was asking the lady that worked there about cat litter, because she was concerned about what cat litter to get for the kitten who had just been declawed. And says to the lady, "So would this cat litter that you have here work on a cat that is just declawed?" And the lady gave her the nastiest look in the history of the world, because it's inhumane to, we rescued the cat. We kept the cat alive.
Right.
But, declawing the cat is inhumane. So she just looks at her and goes, "No. Their paws will be too sensitive."
Oh my God.
So
people.
Apparently our cat behaviors are not approved of by the hippie lady at the
not sanctioned by the cat shop.
Anyway, so the cat's declawed and fixed now and has a weird cone on her head.
She does, and she looks like Space Cadet Cat.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. She's all white. Mm-hmm. She's very sleek. So basically you're saying we're never going to get an ad on this podcast from the cat shop.
Oh, no.
Not going to happen.
Well, as long as we don't let them know. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So they don't know I'm associated
with this.
Good.
Maybe.
If they don't listen to this episode.
They don't listen to this episode.
Well, there it goes.
One more in the fucking shit can.
I'll just have to pay full price for my cat grass from now on.
My cat grass. Come on, Tennessee. Come the fuck on, Tennessee.
It's the most bizarre store to be in anyway.
I imagine there was a store, like, we used to live in Rome, Georgia, which was a bizarre place, and they had a store like that. It was hippie. It was a little less hippie, more sort of boutiquey, upscaley,
Yeah.
But that lady was sufficiently weird.
This place, and I don't want to knock the store because they do good stuff.
Yeah.
They go rescue cats that are about to be,
euthanized.
Take them out. They go rescue the cats and then put them up for adoption in their store.
Oh, that's great.
Very noble.
That's great, yeah.
Very noble. However, we rescued a cat.
Yeah.
You gotta give us a little bit of credit.
Come on.
At least just, hide the judgmental tones until after we leave.
Then you can talk about us all you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that with everyone else.
Well, clearly.
You should hear the stuff I'm going to say about you as soon as you leave.
Oh,
it's going to be bad.
Pain.
Oh,
the pain, Nathan. The pain. The pain. Can we talk about the pain?
She's just staring at us.
Yeah,
it actually gets a little bit creepy sometimes how much she just stares.
She's just happy to be alive.
Yeah. Well, do more than staring.
She was so little, man. She was like a handful. And she lived in my bathtub for, a few days a week, something like that, before you guys adopted her.
Bathtub cat.
Fleas.
Oh, yeah. She still has fleas.
Well, it's a cat. What
yeah.
Ear mites. Like lack of blood or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of problems.
Yeah, she's okay.
You guys nursed her back to health.
She doesn't have any major health issues anymore.
She's great.
She's a weird dog cat. She started following me room to room sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting. It's not what I expected from a cat.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, which is none of you, Nathan and Tanae have Nathan has a cat, and they have a dog.
Yeah,
it's a very small dog, miniature
dachshund.
Charlie,
named Charlie. The cat's name is Cat because I'm quite literal.
Yeah. I have 2 dogs. I have a history of dead fish. If you really want to make me cry, send me a fish, and I'll keep it alive for a couple weeks, whatever I can do, and then it'll probably die, and I'll cry.
Aww.
One time, Jen, my wife, she thought it would be great because one of our fish died, and she was like, "Oh, I know how to cheer him up. I'll get him 5 more." We started out with maybe this is for another show. We started out with, we went to this fucking Relay for Life, you know about this thing? This thing,
right.
And they had games at this Relay for Life.
Okay.
It was more of a relay for death in this situation. And you could win a goldfish in a bag. People, don't put your goldfish in bags. And don't, for God's sakes, don't put them in regular tap water.
Wait, so they just threw these fish in tap water in bags?
Yeah.
Okay.
They pretty much went to the bathroom sink, filled it up with water, and it's death. So we got this fish, and we named him Jackson, and he nearly died. And then he lived for quite a while. Like, I talked to him. I played NPR for him, funny enough.
Fish love NPR.
I do love NPR if you have a sick
You know
fish.
what they hate? Classic rock.
They do. Can't stand Journey. Can't stand Boston.
Oh, it's the worst. Guns N' Roses?
Chicago.
They'll lose it.
They'll jump out of the bowl. They commit fish-cide.
Yep.
Worcestershire. So we had him for a long time, and then he got a big tank, and he lived for a while, and then he eventually died. I mean, he was a fish. He was a goldfish.
Fish do that.
They die.
Yeah.
I was very, very broken up about it, and she got me 5 more, and we called them the Jackson 5. They all died quite a bit quicker than first Jackson, and I don't know what happened, but ever since then, I will never, if I can help it, have another fish. Never.
As a kid, I never had fish.
Okay.
I had albino swimming frogs.
Oh, I've seen these.
Right. Which, just saying it out loud, is the weirdest. I don't know how anyone talked to me when I was a kid. I had an albino swimming frog as a pet. That's weird. I should have just been ostracized completely from society. But I apparently at one point.
Yeah.
And I've learned this later in life. My frog died while I was at school. And so my mother, being the matronly woman that she is, went and got a new frog and put in the aquarium while I was still at school. So I came home and went, it looks like he's smaller than before. Huh. And then just went on my merry little way.
Oh, God.
And years later, I learned, I was right. He was a lot smaller.
How many frogs? I mean, how did this happen? Just the one time?
As far as I know, the one time. I don't know. It may have just been dozens of times.
Years and years of lies.
There may have just been like a whole storage of albino swimming frogs in the garage somewhere that I didn't know
on
about.
Ice, like cryogenically frozen. She would just bring them out,
drop
them in.
Yeah. They're freeze dried like sea monkeys. You just
sea monkeys, man. I never had sea monkeys. So I have 2 dogs now. I've kind of almost always had dogs. Amber and Jacob are our dogs now. Damn these.
None of that was a word.
No.
Not one bit of that.
Yeah, we have pets. We have wives. I have a child. We have houses.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
I wear socks.
Who the fuck are you?
Sushi jackknife.
Sushi jackknife. Hashtag sushi jackknife.
That would be a good hashtag.
It would. I wonder. Ooh. I'm just dipping my toes into Twitter. And I can't tell you I understand it fully.
Oh, I've used it used it.
You have a blog.
I have a blog, and my using of Twitter is when I put something on my blog, it tells Twitter. That's pretty much all I use Twitter for.
It is announced.
And occasionally I will have a witticism. But I'm going to find a witticism to prove that I have them.
Yeah, I know you have them.
But
I know you have them. Point people to your blog.
NathanBadley.com.
NathanBadley.com.
I'm not creative when it comes to names,
Well,
which is why we're having the issue we're currently having.
Names. And I come up with names, but then they're not any good. This is habitually a problem with me. I'm going to your blog right now. I tried to have a blog at one point, and it never came together for me. It was called Inedible Ideas, and it still exists, but I haven't done anything with it in years.
If you took the N off of that and just had edible ideas, you could have a great recipe blog.
I like the inedible because it was like, I don't know. Here we go.
If you still called it inedible ideas, it would just be really confusing to everyone if it was a recipe blog.
Oh, I love this. The Life and Times of Nathan Badley. Just like Moby Dick, but shorter and less whale-oriented.
I have not had one post about whales.
I love it.
And I'm proud of that, really. It's my greatest accomplishment in life.
There's an entry on the wacky world of Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, the siren
song of Asiago cheese.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I love this shit. Oh my god.
Okay, so the Asiago cheese story.
Tell me.
So, for those who don't know, and I know none of you know, not one of you knows, I have been on a quest to, live a decent amount of my life healthy.
You have. And it's been harrowing.
I've been trying not to be what I like to call a big fat fatty.
Which you weren't before, I have to say.
Well, but now I'm definitely not a big fat fatty because I've lost weight and now
You feel good.
I'm at most an average fat fatty. Like, not a big fat fatty. So I've been eating healthy and exercising.
Yeah.
No, doing the things you're supposed to do as a human being to keep yourself from dying.
Yes.
I drink water.
Ooh.
Things like that, So, I had been, and it was right after Thanksgiving.
Sure.
I had not eaten as healthy as I should have.
Sure.
And I go to work, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm back at work. Thanksgiving is over. Playtime's done. I'm not eating crap anymore. I am going to eat healthy, natural foods. And the first day I show up, they have Dunkin' Donuts. So I say no. I say no to the Dunkin' Donuts.
You held strong.
I used all my willpower.
You are a sea anemone.
Then the next day, Panera Bagels.
Oh, my God.
Not just Panera Bagels, a whole box of Asiago cheese Panera Bagels. Now, I would murder a person for an Asiago cheese Panera Bagel. I'm not overstating this. If I'm ever up for charges of murder, if there's an Asiago bagel, I'm just going to plead guilty because I probably did it. So I resisted. I resisted for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I show up at 8:45. I'm like, no bagel. 9:30. I'm like, still no bagel. Not gonna get the bagel. 10 o'clock. I don't know. I'm a little past breakfast. Not quite to lunch.
Brunch.
And I'm like, the bagels are still in there. So I start asking one of my coworkers who's healthier than me. If there's a way I can get around the fact that there's nothing healthy about an Asiago cheese bagel. Nothing. And he said, well, if you get the bagel and you dig out the middle part of it, and then don't use cream cheese, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
It's better.
Which, by the way, None of that's going to happen.
No.
That's a terrible idea.
Why would you do that?
It's such a waste of time. And I'm going to eat the cream cheese. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Of course.
So then I had to walk by to the printer. Out of the corner of my eye, there were the bagels, taunting me, looking right at me.
Glistening.
Hey Nathan, come over here. Put us in your mouth. You know you want to.
Put us in your mouth.
You know you want to. So I go to the printer. I get my papers. I don't make eye contact with the bagels. I go right back to my desk. Then immediately get back up and go right to the bagels and get one and put cream cheese all over that bad boy.
Slather that bitch.
Just shove it right in my mouth. Shove the whole thing in my mouth. Oh, it was so good.
Was it religious?
Oh, it was so good. So then I felt shame the rest of the day.
I was going to say I could listen
Food
to you
shame.
talk about this all day.
Oh, food shame.
Food shame is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a perverse joy in eating poorly, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I love, maybe this is my ultimate, I love Burger King breakfast. We used to commute a lot as a kid, and we get up early and stuff and drive. And I ate a lot of Burger King breakfast, a lot of those croissant witches.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Which I refuse to say when I order. I call it a croissant. That's what it fucking is. It's a sandwich croissant.
That makes sense.
With egg and cheese or ham and cheese. And then either the little hash brown. I put jelly on hash browns. Is that weird?
Well, I've never done it, but I can't say it's weird.
Grape. It's really good. It's good.
Yeah.
Or they had the little cinnamon buns forever. Mm-hmm. Now they're bigger. I ate a lot of that. I've eaten a lot of that, Nathan.
I will say fast food breakfast.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
We still have, this is okay. Have you eaten it?
I've eaten it.
Oh, goddamn.
I haven't eaten all of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's things.
There's more menu
There's
items?
a wide selection of items that you can shove in your gob.
I've yet to eat the Taco Bell burgers. I've heard it's good.
And
you're the second person.
Yeah, and it's all really good for you.
It's very healthy.
Just go
it's
with
all
it.
Pomegranates and wheat berries.
I don't know if you knew this, but tortillas are a superfood.
Really?
Yeah. They're like pomegranates.
I knew they were made out of like acai paste and fennel and quinoa.
Everything at Taco Bell is all natural.
Oh, okay.
Great for you.
Okay. And cheeseless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's cheese, but it's low. It somehow like decreases cholesterol. It actually makes cholesterol leave your body.
Mystic cheese.
Yeah.
So now the cat is crawling in Nathan's lap. The cat is up on the microphone.
Say something.
Meow, dude. Do that.
She doesn't do that in command.
Well,
she's a cat. You can't tell her what to do.
My sister-in-law has a dog that was a rescue that was debarked when they got it, which is so sad.
How do you debark a dog?
I don't know. I guess you cut the vocal cord or something.
So it's inhumane.
Fucked. Yeah.
So it's not a thing that would be okay for me to do to the neighbor's dogs down the street.
Oh, you might as well just murder them.
Yeah.
What about that kid that keeps coming over?
I haven't seen her in a while.
Really?
The dogs may have eaten her. I don't know. I haven't seen her. It's cold outside, so she's probably
gaming.
Whatever.
Can we dedicate this episode to her?
Yeah. Yeah, this episode's to Haley.
Haley, this one's for you.
My name is still Nathan. No matter how many times you ask me, that's my name.
She always asks you.
She always asks everyone their name.
She can't remember? No. I wonder if she has face blindness or something.
Oh. If I saw that on WebMD, I'd be convinced I have that.
You don't have face blindness.
I don't know. I'm not sure of any of your features.
Okay, well, we've done well over an hour, if you can believe that. There was a point where there was a flow happening.
Yeah.
And I felt that. I fell right into the flow.
Nice. Right in the flow.
Right in the flow.
It's a nice, warm flow. Just fall in.
Flow in.
Let it envelop you.
Yes, indeed, the velvety flow. You and me. Flowing.
Oh, yeah. So, over an hour.
Oh, yeah, over an hour.
We call it quits now?
I think we could if we wanted to. I keep yawning, which is
horrible. No, it's really not professional. I didn't want to bring it up. I'm glad you brought it up.
I mean, you're perky.
I actually, using the phone,
yeah,
just posted an ad on Craigslist looking for a new
co-host.
Yeah, one that doesn't yawn.
God,
that's all it says in the ad is must not yawn.
I think we'll have guests, so that means we're the co-hosts.
We're
the staples.
Mm-hmm.
And other people could come now and then.
Oh yeah,
but the core is you and I. You and I.
Just the two of us, Ebony and Ivory.
Ivory and
Dibs on Ebony.
Oh.
Dibs on Ebony. Yeah.
Ivory and Ivory. Maybe that's the name of the podcast. Ivory and Ivory.
Ivory and Ivory.
Ivory and off Ivory.
Live together in perfect harmony.
White and
on a very confusing keyboard.
Well, for now, just remember, kids. Are you straight? Are you gay? Are you a sea anemone? Good night, Nashville.
Good night.